What's going on YouTube? Cloverbelt here, back with another Scarlet Violet video. So with the release of regulationj rule set allowing the use of one mythical, now you're able to have access to Arceus for the first time in VGC, right? But now the question becomes, well, what happens in this game between the interaction of multi-type, the spooky plate, your judgment, and also your terastalization, right? And that's what I wanted to go over here because I know a lot of you had some questions in our announcement video of what is supposed to happen, and that's what I wanted to talk about here. So I'll keep it relatively short here, but let's use an easy example here. Let's say my Arceus has a spooky plate, right? So ghost, and I have a Tera Fire as an example, right? Something different than my spooky plate, and I have judgment here, right? So what happens to judgment? Okay, is it going to be a fire type attack, or is it going to be a ghost type attack, or is it going to be a normal type attack? What is supposed to happen? So if you read the skill, okay, it says the type varies based on the held plate. So in this case, my held plate is a spooky plate. Therefore, my judgment is a ghost type attack, right? Now, what happens if I go Tera Fire? Well, in terms of your judgment, nothing. It's not going to change into a fire type attack. Your judgment will always still be a ghost type attack, okay? When you enter the battle, Arceus is a ghost type, okay? All right, but when you terastalize it, Arceus becomes a fire type. But again, that does not affect your judgment because your judgment is only based on the plate that you're holding regardless of whatever type you're using, right? So your judgment will be a ghost type, okay? But your Tera can be a fire type if you terastalize it, right? And I'm gonna go through two examples, one on Showdown and one on cards, just so you see how it works. And so this way you can test it out yourself and mix and match whatever what you want to do with Arceus. All right, so let's take a look. All right, so here's Showdown. This is just me practicing against myself here. So I'm going to show you the interaction against Basculegion here, right? So ideally, if I Tera Fire, right, and I go for Judgment on the Basculegion, I should be able to KO it because it's a ghost type attack. And then at the same time, he can deal super effective damage to me with this water type attack because I'm a fire type. See, there we go. There's Aqua Jet, right? Super effective damage. I'm a fire type, not a ghost type anymore. Okay, and then if I go for my judgment, it's super effective because it's a ghost type attack, not a fire or normal type attack because I'm holding a spooky plate. Okay, the judgment is based on the plate you're holding. So in this case, I am able to KO the Basculegion because again, ghost is super effective against ghost. And like I said, at the same time, I take super effective damage from an Aqua Jet, which is a water type attack because I'm not a ghost type anymore. I am a Tera Fire, right? Because I clicked the Tera Fire button, okay? So I just wanted to make that clear. But now let me show you, just in case you think that this is only a Showdown interaction, it's also the case on card. So let's take a look there. So right here in this case, again, I am still holding the spooky plate, but I can Tera Fire and I can hit a dragon type, in this case, the Garchomp, for neutral damage here. So again, it won't be a fire type attack, even though I am going for the Tera Fire. It's going to be whatever plate I'm holding, that's the type attack that the judgment will be. So in this case, it's a ghost type attack. So again, I am Tera Fire. So the Garchomp can hit me for super effective damage if he wants, all right? Because I'm not a ghost anymore. All right, so as we see the instant go for the fake out here. So again, you'll see the interaction here. So there's judgment. Again, it's a ghost type attack, not a fire type attack. See, that's neutral damage there. And there you just see a Garchomp go for Storage Dance, right? Of course. So again, here, same battle, similar example where, again, I am an Arceus as a Tera Fire with a ghost type spooky plate. So if the Rillaboom were to hit me with a grass type attack, it won't be neutral damage, right? Because again, I am a Tera Fire type. But on the flip side, my attack judgment is not a fire type attack. It is a ghost type attack. So if I run through this animation here real quick. So there's the Wood Hammer. See, again, I am able to resist it, right? Because I'm a fire type. But at the same time, my judgment, once again, here we go. It's not a fire type attack. It's neutral because it is a ghost type attack because I'm holding the spooky plate. All right, so that's it. I just wanted to keep it relatively short and easy to understand there. So hopefully that alleviates any confusion and questions that you might have. But if you still have questions, make sure you comment in the video below asking, whatever you need to know or whatever you're still curious about in terms of Arceus. But again, just one more time, I want to reiterate that, if you have an example like this where you have a spooky plate of a different type that's different than your Tera, right? Your judgment is only based on your plate. okay? Not whatever type that you are as an Arceus. So in this case, I will start the game as a ghost type, okay? But if I go for Judgment, I will have that ghost type attack. But if I Tera type into a fire type in this case, in this example, it's not going to be a fire type attack. It's still going to be a ghost type attack, but my type as an Arceus itself, it will be a fire type, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. And again, if you're still confused, comment below and, you know, we'll answer them. All right, but that's it. We'll do a team building video on Arceus next, right? Might as well, you know, just because. But again, like I also made an announcement on the channel. Again, we're going to try and mix up our content here because again, in August, there's still Worlds, so we're still going to put out some regulationj content. We'll probably get some rentals going, and regulationj will also start putting out some videos on that as well. And, you know, the regulationj stuff, we'll probably get a tier list out and a couple more team building videos. But I don't think we'll go like too in depth with regulationj because I know, you know, the mythicals are rather limiting and not all of them are not really amazing. But we'll still cover them, you know, just because we are who we are. All right, that's it. We'll be back with another video in the next one. Peace out and have a good one.